Okay, today on Gaming with Ren, I am playing Planet Crafter. Now, to be fair, I already started playing. This is one of those long survival type games, survival buildy colonization games. So it's a slow burn, in the sense of you're trying to terraform a planet, right? And this isn't meant to be quick. So So I've done prep work and set up a base. So what you're going to be seeing today here is not the full game. It's not the from day one. This is going to be the what my base looks like, where I am, some of the mechanics of the game, and what I have left to do. So let's get into it. Um, right now, I've basically, I've already unlocked the entire map and all the satellite upgrades. I'm keeping. You can see I've partially terraformed the green and the water. I'm at the stage where I'm working on breathable atmosphere. There's quite a few stages before this, like the, adding heat and oxygen and water, rivers, lakes, rain, clouds, moss plants, trees, bugs. So I've done some of those already. Basically what I did first of all is I started out in the intro valley, which is somewhere down here. You see where this green dot is? That was the intro valley. They crash your pod. You can sort of see the crash pod there in the middle of the lake. They crash your pod there, and you have to start and try and build up a camp to survive. So I started in this intro valley, and I left a starter base here, which we'll go down to and we'll visit later. Hold on, my sound is very loud. Let's see if I can turn this down a bit. What's going on here? Yeah, it's fine. Close. Okay, so where was I? So I started all the way down here in this valley, and I made a sort of a starter base, which I've expanded over time. But then, as I was playing the game, I looked around the map, and part of the thing you want to do when playing these games is think of a location. What has access to resources? What has nice, picturesque views that you want to have a long-term base at? And I came to the realization that, hey, I like these we had these tall rocks in the middle of a chasm that looked defensible and looked interesting. So I'm like, they had some nice views. On one end, it looked like a region that was gonna have waterfalls because it was all glaciers and melted and frozen ice at the time I landed. And then the other area had, views down this ravine of this ring, this big crashed ring. So I chose to set up over here, and that's where we're starting right now. That's the base I'm going to walk you through. So here is our entrance. As you can see, I've already put out some, grass cedars and floral cedars that are putting out flowers and roots. And then here we have our main entrance where I put my garage, my little moon buggy. Right on the edge of the ravine, and I built this big bridge across. So my main base is over here. And you can see on this side we've got some wonderful views of the big planet that we're orbiting. I guess we're on a moon, orbiting this big either gas giant or other planet. And on this side we've got these beautiful waterfalls, so that's part of my atmosphere. So down the bridge you have views of this nice ravine in this direction and these wonderful waterfalls in this direction. So you can see down here. Okay, so we come in and my sign says welcome to Haven. So it's a visitor entrance with employees allowed entrance into the farm science lab. I'll take you down the visitor's entrance first, then we'll go through the science labs. So we've got a slight power grid over here with solar panels. gas extractor to get oxygen and methanes of the air. Cafeteria on my left. You know, the fridge. A little sitting area that looks out onto my center field. So I built my base around this sort of the top of this platform, and I put grasses and a farm in the center. You can sort of see my farm there with the bees and the field plots. That took a while to get unlocked because you don't get that right away because obviously you don't have an atmosphere when you start on the planet. We're still working on breathable atmosphere. We have a semi-usable atmosphere right now. Here I put my water gatherer that collects rains. And then I've got this sort of circular platform around both sides to get to this area. So we'll go this way first. I put up a visitor center on this side, which is just part of my story. You know, I imagine this as being a science lab or a science base. I didn't need this building. This building was cosmetic, just for personal interest. We'll go through some of the main crafting buildings in the other regions and what they do for the game, I guess, later. But I imagine, you know, people come in, they stop for a bite to eat, and then maybe they come and enjoy the visitor center. So we've got a gym for exercise and fitness, and they can imagine they're running down the ravine in front of them as they, you know, race on these bikes. Again, another use of the views and angles that this sort of like platform gave us. On this side I got a media room, which is like a computer center with a couch, and I imagine books would be, and you know, videos would be on the shelves. Obviously you don't get them, but you know. And then you can read your emails and do whatever here. And again, you get a nice view of the same ravine. Upstairs, one thing I did not like about the game is they did not give you toilets. There are toilets in some of the wrecks that you can explore, but they didn't let you have a toilet. So how do you build a base without toilets? You're telling me these people hold it? They're using their suits the whole time to pee in? Like, come on, give me a toilet or a shower or something. So I was not able to finish my washrooms. I got sinks, but no toilets. So anyway, I put a toilet over there for the men and over here for the women. And I have a little sitting area where the people can watch TV and see what the terraforming stage is at. You can see I'm 21% towards having breathable atmosphere, and I don't have to recharge my oxygen anymore, which would be nice. Okay, so upstairs is the guest rooms. So we have 3 guest rooms for, I imagine, guest tourism to the planet. So we got bedroom number 1, bedroom number 2, and a more advanced suite for bedroom number 3 with a nice big bed. Alright, so I imagine this would be the tourist accommodations for whoever would be visiting the colony and the science base. That's what this is essentially. It's a terraforming science base set up on the planet. So down this way we've got a butterfly park. So you get butterfly larvae, which you can either collect or, I guess, create, terraform. And right now I've got golden butterflies. We'll continue this way later because it's also to my science labs. But right now we're going to go through the Arboretum, which is the tree park, on this end, into our offices. This is our main office building. So downstairs is 2 meeting rooms, which I imagine being like a group hangout and guest, like if they have parties or whatever and they need lots of the whole community to share one space. This is the only space that's large enough to do it because the cafeteria is too small. So they can use the 2 meeting rooms here and this adjoined hallway to hang out. Part of my story. And then upstairs I've got the main offices, which I've used the character names from my webcomic, kind of giving them roles. So we have one person in charge of the science, the biology department, which is the plants, the insects, and the animals. And they got their own little office here. I gotta drink something. And I get HR. I made Bar, the HR representative, handles some emails, and design and engineering are these two, Alex and Mindy. And they're looking out on the field, store our spare blueprints that you can unlock. So throughout the game, depending on your state of terraformation, you unlock different devices and technologies which you can use in your base. So as you'll see, this one unlocks at 6 ppm, which I'm close to. I'm at 5.5, so I'm going to get a new device shortly. So I like to pretend there's workers here working and unlocking these things for us and designing. This one's our power grid, how well we're doing keeping everything up to date and running. So I have plenty of extra power right now. And this one is just our overhead map, keeping a track on, you know, where the plants are popping up, where the trees are popping up. And over here we've got, I put Nolan on the operations desk. He's got the satellites, what's in the atmosphere, what's being launched, what's helping our terraforming, you know, process. And he's got another summary of the terraforming on his wall, and my office is upstairs because I get to be the VP, because, you know, I did all the work, right? So I gave myself the title. And here I've got, you know, a sitting area, some trophies that you collect and find and display. Nifty plant, my what is it, tardigrade shark, and a little office here which can look out into the central fields, see all we've achieved on this base. And again, I got another sort of summary. Now up here I put my executive suite. I live above the other residences in a nice little, you know, I've got a bed, a personal kitchen, and a sitting area with some decorations with these nice views of the waterfalls. So I think the developer did a nice job giving us some, you know, gorgeous environmental views. Like, we're surrounded by all this sort of, like, you know, stock looking, you know, modularized buildings, but we can use it to interact and view these beautiful terrestrial landscapes as they pop up. And look at the big planet and the moon up there. They did a good job on the sites. And again, from this side, I can view the, you know, the product of everything we've achieved at this base, which is the two domes and the fields, as well as our water gatherer, and still see some of the views out in this direction. Okay, so that is the offices. Let's go through the residences. So I imagine the base would hold like 12 to 15 scientists, each working on different roles. So I got like the 5 guys up there, and then we have all the different labs. So on this side we've got the residences with the clinic. Our clinic has a little seat for a doctor and then 2 sort of beds for patients. And then each of these is another, you know, scientist's bedroom. And I've assigned some of the people. I tried to use some of the lore that the developer put in the game. Like, you find emails and notes from people who have long passed, so I've honored them by putting them in the residences as, what if I had saved you? If I saved you, you would be living here. So that's what I did with that. So we have a few of the people that were designed characters from the, you know, the lore inside the game, and they get their own little bedrooms down here. And here's, I put the men downstairs and some of the ladies upstairs. So that's basically all this building is. It's a series of bedrooms for each of the residents, the lab residents, and they're pretty stock bedrooms. Oh, that's my exit, and then one more bedroom. So this is basically where I imagine the scientists would be living. And then it connects to the work area, which is on this side, and then they have to walk across the 2 parks to get to the other labs on that side. So we'll go this way first. This is the factory. So manufacturing. I have all these shelves to store base components that I've gathered throughout the game. And I've labeled them by type so that they're easier to find. So we can use these in our 3D printers here to print upgrades and different components. Most of these are character upgrades, like better backpacks, better oxygen tanks, faster speed, little ability to deconstruct things. Have I done that one? Maybe not. I'll have to upgrade that. So you basically take the components. It's pretty straightforward, and then you just use them in the machines. So I don't think I've done this one. I'm just going to quickly upgrade that while I notice. So that lets me decompose things in Rex more easily. Now I put the chemistry lab upstairs, so this whole building is manufacturing. So downstairs is like the physical manufacturing, like components, and upstairs is science manufacturing. So we can make, I've got a storage room up here for different components. This would be plants, and this would be minerals and other things. That lets me make different things like fabrics, bacteria samples, foods, fertilizers, explosives. So this is my other manufacturing lab. So that is what's in this building stack. It's basically my storage warehouse and my 3D printers and my science lab. Down this hall is some more storage, and then we get into the bio sort of farm, the farm lab. So in here we got ice, we got seeds, and we've got our oxygen and food indoor lab. This is used before I had the outdoor farm plots. So these flowers are basically my collections. These are all the different flowers you can collect out in the environment and display them here. And these are all the foods I was relying on to survive at the beginning of the game. Basically, they give you 6 different types of foods. And at the beginning of the game, you get 4, and when you get the trading post up, you get 2 more. So inside, I only have the starter 4. At this desk, I pretended I put Ichlas here because Ichlas was a guy who was successful at growing plants before he, disappeared and died, and did not ultimately terraform the planet. So I made him the honorary farmer guy, because he was able to grow plants. So here you can see at what biomass levels we unlock different technologies. So in this case, I'm waiting for 50 T of insects before I get the mutagen, or 3.25 plants before I get the butterfly farm. So you can still see there's a good way to go before I'm done, and some of the things that we get to unlock in the future will be like the aquarium. We get fish, and then the ecosystem where we can put like outdoor bug parks and outdoor butterfly farms, and then we can work towards animals, so we can get some more types of animals like frogs. I think that's as far as it goes. Here we have frogs, at least on this side. And I think there was an animal farm for mammals as well, I think, on the other side, but they come late game. So yeah, this would be the farm and more storage for seeds. And we're back to the entrance. So now I'll take you through the other side. We have a jetpack. As you can see, I just kind of jetted across. Back through the butterfly park here. You can choose to display any of 2 types of bugs, but different bugs have different multipliers. So you can see my insect multiplier is a lot higher for the gold ones. So though some of the other colors are prettier to me, the gold ones are the shiny, more efficient ones, helping me terraform, so they get to sit here. And these ones are bugs you have to find by doing the story. So maybe later on, when I'm done the insect level of unlocking all the technologies, I'll put the bugs I really like in here, which are the purple butterflies, because, I like purple. Anyway, so down here are all the individual labs. Here's my insect lab, where I can grow different bugs, and I have silkworms here making me fabrics. In this case, I can convert larvae that I have into butterflies and bees and silkworms. So we're basically DNA manipulating them to serve a purpose. Oops. I have to watch my So yeah, that is the insect lab. Down here's my botany lab, where we do DNA manipulation to produce specific types of tree seeds. And I've got a few, plants on display here, and a seed bank with all the different seeds that I've gathered or created throughout the game. Next lab, I made a quantum physics lab. It's basically I tried to think of a practical name of a lab where I can put my nuclear reactors. So they're studying power and energy production because I needed somewhere to store reactors that looks somewhat more aligned to my story. So we have a physics lab that studies energy, producing energy for the base. Now on this side we've got an applied science, and this is basically the heat generation lab, or studying heat. So I'm using these little devices just to display this. I put this dude in there because that's what he was working on. He was working on sort of mechanics and applied sciences in some of his email notes in the game lore. Nuclear physics is I needed space for another reactor, and I put this little thing studying pressure and gravity. So I imagine that's a little, atmospheric molecule that's the lab assistant studying, and I also have more energy produced at the base. Then I got more interesting things. These labs are mostly empty because I haven't unlocked fish or frogs yet. So this one I guess would be fish, this one I guess would be frogs. Xenology is the study of alien life or mammals, and on the other end of the bridge was supposed to be my animal sanctuary, so I've got access to 3 more islands down here. So I've built bridges across 3 of the platforms to provide places for future animal sanctuaries. And I'm toying with the idea of putting the aquarium down here on this end, to put another dome here, or if I want to put it on inside the original ring on that side. I'm thinking I might just put it here when I go to do animal sanctuary, and then have everything in the center reflect my animals. My frogs, my fish, and my mammals. Anyway. So that is that's the science base, the science lab, which produces the food and does the terraforming efforts and observations of this planet. So now we're going to take a little buggy trip after I gather some more supplies. And I'm actually going to grab some more, fabrics, so I'm holding them all. I'm going to make some more fabrics to take across. Because I'm building chairs for my trade outpost right now. We'll also grab some food for the road. Foods. So, I'm at the stage where I'm at trading, and oh, these are all done. So there's certain things that you can trade to the satellite outpost in space that gets you trade points to unlock new technologies at the trade center, which I will show you when we get to the trade base. The other base I'm using as logistics, like comms and rockets and incoming trading vessels. This side is the entire science lab, and I imagine the little buggy here, can transport people to and from the 2 bases. So it keeps our incoming peoples at quarantine on the other base, and the permanent residents and accepted tourists on this side. You don't come to the science base and mess with the science unless you're permitted to mess with the science lab and the science crew. So I'm just gonna quickly make food. And materials before I go. Okay, we don't have enough to make another thing there. Okay, so off we go. So what I would be doing if I wasn't doing a walkthrough is I would be going through gathering resources right now in my stage to trade for points, because I'm trying to unlock the technologies from space. So we'll see what that looks like. So we will go drive across. So here you can see a wreck. Here's an example of another crash ship wreck that you would explore. It's sitting in what's left of the desert regions in the middle here. I just went to flip myself. They have a button, thankfully, that lets you get unstuck if you accidentally topple the ship, which is kind of nice, because sometimes you topple the ship. So I'll show you what the wreck looks like. Oh no! Okay. So this is one of the wrecks that is available in the game. And it's basically, I've cleared most of them, so I've taken out the boxes and stuff that you can explore, but you can sort of see what the ships look like. And you can go and explore through them. You have a flashlight. And there's still stuff I haven't unlocked yet. There's a stage where you can insert a power core, and I think it might unlock and open some more of these doors, I'm not sure. But essentially, yeah, you go through the wreck, and you salvage boxes and debris, which I've already done, so I can't show you too much. But one thing I will show you is that if you go in here, okay, here's the power generator. That's one example that you would use to unlock some of the other doors, I think, or something else. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's what it does, but I haven't gotten to that stage in the game. One thing I did want to show you was, where was it? They have furniture here that I wanted to be able to put in my base, right? They had a toilet. I'm trying to see if there's one in here. Here, right? I want this toilet. Why can't I have this toilet to place in my base to finish off my bathroom? You gave me the sink, but not the toilet. What the hell? I don't care so much about the bunk beds, but I did want the toilet. Okay, so that's what the wrecks look like. And like I said, it would be more interesting if I could show you what you're salvaging, but you'll have to find that out if you choose to play the game yourself. I will get later to the stage where I can maybe unlock some more of those doors and see what that stuff looks like. So we have these beacons as well that help you sort of navigate the map without opening the map. And I've placed the cyan one as my science base, and the green one over here is my other base, and the other ones are minerals and mining posts. So I'm gonna make my way down to this cave because one of the routines I do for trade is to collect stuff that we're mining over here. So one of the things and yes, your buggy can go underwater. I mean, it can navigate space and spaces with no oxygen. You have to upgrade it. There's a series of upgrades here for the machine that lets you do things like unlimited oxygen, more modules, you can put the beacons so you can find it, more inventory, better lights, better speed. So I tricked it out already, basically. And I'm just gonna take the iridium that I'm mining here. We're gonna try and sell this stuff. My scary looking fire cave. Because it glows with the heat crystals. I guess that's what those are supposed to be. Alright, so this is Starter Valley. And then Starter Valley. Not to be confused with Stardew Valley, but you could farm out here, I suppose. Over here they give you this nice big lake. And then a big open plain to, you know, build up your base as your heart's content. I think this is like the most popular location for bases. I chose to move on from here, but I did keep the starter base. Where I put the rockets, the they could launch. They have their own water tower. And here I have the trade. This is the trade platform, and this is my. You can build rockets and send them into space to help you terraform on that platform. So we've got our big, you know, rockets platforms on one side. We've got a workshop for manufacturing stuff, and our comms office and residence for the workers of this base on this side. So here is our, very similar to our manufacturing lab on the other side. I've got chests for building things and constructing, usually for trade or building rockets. So I'm going to build some of these rods from the materials that I've gathered from that mining expedition so that I can sell some stuff. So what it tells you at the bottom here what the trade value is, so you know kind of what you can sell and what you need to use to sell these things. So I needed, for example, an iridium rod, 2 uraniums, and a super alloy to build this thing. So great. Now I have a rocket to sell, and you can see I've used most of. I've got one more, but I'd have to use another super crystal and more rods to do it. So I'm going into my boxes to fill in the blanks, I guess. I can make 2 rocket engines with what I've stored, and I got a couple spare items, which I can just dump into these boxes. Cool. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna grab the iron, because I think I can make a bunch of chairs. So one thing I was doing at this base is I had given everyone beds, but I still don't have chairs in some of these offices. So let me do that first as I walk you through the base. So on the bottom I put the mess hall, which is basically just a little kitchen, a bit smaller than the other base's kitchen. And then we have their own emergency farm, which had my starter oxygen and my starter plants. With some more storage for seeds and plants. So we got, this is their personal storage for food and farming, and then they have, you know, their own little workshop over there as well. So those are the starter bases. And here you can see my starter power, which are the wind things, and a much larger solar farm, which I decided to keep even though I don't need it with my nuclear power. I just left it. And then up here I've got the trade office, which is basically just a little lounge for guests, and then employees only pass the desk, which is a security desk, and then a server room here with some more, you know, power and satellite information. Here I have some spare blueprint chips, which currently, I guess I've maxed out the blueprints you can unlock with them, and anything left over is here or in the science base. And then on this side I have my residences, which is again more like labs. So you can base build with all of these modules, unlock different devices. These are machines or devices, and stuff for making plants, some for information screens, and the furniture that you can create. So I'm just going to put in a few of these chairs to finish off my design there. Oops. However many I can get in. Chair for you, a chair for you, and a chair for you, and I think that might be all the fabrics I brought. Yeah, that's all the fabrics I have right now. So that's the ground floor, and then upstairs we've got 3 more rooms. And here's my base boss, which is my operation guy's main base. And the operations guy goes back and forth between the two, and he has 2 security guys that mans the office. So I let Nolan run this office, and I run the other office. And again, you have these nice views down either side of the windows, of the planes and these pillars, and the sulfur cave over there, and this wreck on this side. And then down past the rockets, we've got the waterfall framed between the 2 rockets. So let's do trade. So how trade works is you just grab all the stuff you intend to sell. Just all this stuff, which I've been storing. And then you dump it in this sort of rocket here. 2 rockets I manufactured. I could sell the fabric, but I'm still building chairs, so I won't do that for now. And then you come over to this little screen and you can choose what you want to purchase for what you think it's going to cost. So you can see here it's only going to get me 142. Like, you have to do a lot of manufacturing before you get the Terra tokens necessary. You can also find them in Rex, which is what I did to seed my initial stuff. And I purchased chocolate and wheat here. And I tried to unlock some of these, some of the things that I thought I needed more of. Like, these are expensive, man. 4,500 for just a specific butterfly larva to display it. I mean, it has a nice multiplier, but it doesn't beat my golds. This one's about the same as my golds. So, I don't know. So what I'm trying to get to is these extra compartments down here, these blueprints that I haven't unlocked, which is some fancier domes. But you can see it's like 25,000 Terra tokens. I'm only at 12,000, so it'll be a while of trading. This is where the game gets grindy, because you get stuck. It takes a while to do the terraforming. I mean, I've come quite a ways. Let's see how many hours I've put into this thing so far. It's telling me I put 60 hours to get this far, so it's an investment. Anyway, let me launch this rocket, which you can do from here. You just press Y to launch the tree rocket. I'm playing with the controller, so off it goes. It basically goes up to the space station above the planet, and it sells everything there. And then eventually it'll come back and give me trade tokens that count towards what I can purchase. So that is the 2 bases, basically, the walkthrough. So I've used a lot of devices to manufacture stuff, but you can do manual. Like at the beginning of the game, you're pretty much running around and you're using your little tool here to harvest. So you hit like A and you pick up the things that you see in the environment, and different areas on the map have different resources that you can gather. So this one's iron, for example. And like later in the game, you can explore these sort of things, but you obviously have to be mindful of your food and water resources. And as you explore, there might be chests. Like, as the trees grew here, now you can notice I can get across this space a lot easier than I did before. Whoa! I fell. Anyway, let me get back before I die. And then we have another wreck on this side as well. And I always need items for construction. So you can basically build your own bases as you're doing this. If I wanted to increase the speed of the game, I could just be putting out a ton of these machines to increase the pressure, heat, and oxygen, as well as the plant life that's being generated. But honestly, I don't feel a need to speed it up. I'm just chilling out, and I use this game as kind of a chill slice of life moment. I can wander the planet, I can do some trading, I can see the sights. It's my own zen little meditation thing here. Anyway, I will head back to the main base, and then we will go on maybe a little adventure to see what else is on the map. Before we do, I should probably gather some stuff to eat. I have plenty of water, but I should steal some food. I've stockpiled all of these things with, food to pretend I'm supporting them from the other base, but I still just use the manual foods because, it regrows. Might as well use it, right? So every area of the map looks a little bit different. I put a little bridge here to make it easier to cross, but you have like different lighting, different color tones, different minerals and things. This is an aluminum field, so I put another miner down here as well. Whoops, because aluminum was important early game. And you have different biomes you can explore. I'll go through all of them, but I'll just show you a couple of the ones that are nearby. So we've got these like pillars here. Looks like shards that fell out of space. And then over here we've got my favorite trees in the game. This corner. Here's that desert ring you can see from far. Got the trees growing on it there. And then my favorite trees are these guys. So we got a dust storm right now, but you can't see them very well. They're blue and purpley, growing their own little fountains here. Wow, this whole thing filled in with water. That is an underground. I imagine this would be a great place for fish later, because it's got this whole terrestrial area. So maybe these will be my little fishing seeds. I can throw fish in these little craters. There's one over here as well, and I think there's a third one over there. So we got 3 craters. Yeah, we got 3 craters here, which I can use for fishing. 3 different fishing pools later. Different breeds of fish. I toyed with the idea of putting a base here, but water started appearing. And then I'm like, well, if water's going to be underneath the ring, I can't put something under the ring. I suppose I could build a platform and put a base on top of a platform, or like a tourist observation site or something. But I haven't done that yet. I'm still working on the furniture in the trade base, so we'll just do the projects that we have for now. I have no idea how it's going to affect the performance adding tons and tons of bases, so I'm trying to use it sparingly and keep the story that I enjoy running, which is the 2 bases. And we have all these trees growing across here. Wow, we've got like 3 different types of trees here that are now sharing the space. Trees are nice to look at, but man, it makes it hard to drive through these. You gotta get creative with driving paths. I think I want to go up this way to get back to my base. Oh no. And in the environment there'll be like explosive walls, or you can blow them up to have more exploration. Okay, this is not the right way. Although I might be able to squeeze through this way. We can try. Oh no, creative driving. Oh, that might have been a mistake. Back out, back out. I gotta go around. Go, buggy, go! Okay. We gotta go around the other side of this to get back to the base. Okay. Okay. Over here. Up we go. And you can see all the minerals just lying on the ground that I have not gathered here, because I haven't needed to yet. You have each of these little rock things. back to my main base over here. Now we will park. And we're gonna go explore one of the little hidden biome areas. Alright, so before I go, it's always a good idea to check my food and water. We will gather some more before we go. I have tons of spare water, but taking a spare oxygen and take spare oxygen, and I'll take some spare food. So we're just gonna explore, because we don't have breathable atmosphere yet. You can see at the very bottom underneath my oxygen scale there, it's saying how much oxygen I'm losing per second when I walk outside, which is, you'll actually notice the numbers going down as I'm converting this to atmosphere to breathable air. Because it used to be 1.8, then 1.5 when I was paying attention, now it's 1.1. So you sort of get a feel for it's doing something. We're actually converting the atmosphere. So let's walk up here. Oh, that's our trade rocket is back. We made 142 bucks. 142, we need 25,000. Oh my god. We'll be working forever. They've indentured us into slavery. Anyway, that's the story premise. You're dropped here as a prisoner colonist, and your choices are, you know, die or terraform this planet. So you choose to terraform the planet, you get dropped here. So there's a pretty, you know, waterfall there. And we're walking down this way. Oh, I was gonna check the sulfur cave. Show you the sort of hidden biome. Aha! We've unlocked a new technology, which is good. So we can spread more trees and make my driving life significantly more difficult. But it will also increase terraforming efforts, so I should probably be doing that. But first, we're gonna go this way, check out these waterfalls and that sulfur cave to the hidden biome behind this area. Now, if you die, you can just forget to feed yourself, drink fluids, or run out of oxygen. You'll be transported without your objects back to your base. I'm not sure if the lore of that was, if some ancient spirit has relocated you because they want you to fix their planet. But I think it's wherever you die, a box appears. So it's unclear why you keep coming back, but these other people did not. So why are you immortal and these people are not? Did they give up on the planet, so the planet gave up on them? Is that what happened? But they're keeping you alive because you're actually healing it. So down here is where I found the original red trees. And it's kind of cool, like as the trees grew, they lifted this sort of wreckage shuttle out of the water and got this crazy red lake. And here you can harvest some of the more rare super alloys. Some of the biomes are really cool. Like, they've put some interesting thought in making some of these areas look different. And this would actually be a cool place for a base, because you've got this sort of red, white, black tone with these cool red waterfalls. Like, building a base upwards over this space would be kind of nice. I wanted observation bases eventually. I just didn't get to that stage yet, because I was still working on the fabrics furniture, because I had recently unlocked bugs. But I'm looking forward to adding fish, so that'll be kind of cool. And aquariums. So in the environment, you occasionally see these chests, and inside them they have the loot of whoever was here who died. At least that's the lore of how the game explains it to you. So it makes you wonder how many people landed on these planets and failed at the terraforming before you got here. And there's different color boxes too, and the different color boxes are supposed to represent different types of peoples. The gold stuff has more rare stuff, they're the ancient natives. There's silver boxes as well. I'm not sure who the silver were supposed to correspond to. And the blues were our people's settlers. Okay, well I'm going to take the rarest stuff. And I still have some more stuff I can loot out this way. We had another wreckage here, which is just a little mini shuttle, which I've already kind of looted, but there's still boxes in there, which means I have not completed looting. Like, there's another tree, a uranium rod, rocket engines. I should grab the rarer stuff. So give me the uranium rod, and the rocket engines, and okay. We're gonna use an oxygen. We're gonna use some food. It's warning me. Because by the way, you can clear your inventory. I have needs. We have explosive powders and these special things. The uranium rocket, okay. So I'm gonna drop the aluminums because I have so much aluminum it's not funny back at base. And steal some of these powders because they take a lot of equipment to manufacture. So I can come out here and finish looting this place later. But essentially that's what we have here. No, it doesn't appear to be anything. I wonder if this water hurts me. No, it doesn't appear to hurt me to swim in the water. Okay. So we're gonna head back. Because we only have one more tank of oxygen. We don't want to die. It's always a good idea to have a spare tank. And the beacons are really important to help keep you oriented in the right direction. So I use a few of the beacons. All the colors are more of the minerals, and the white ones are interesting wreckages and stuff to explore, salvage operations. Alright, so we're gonna go look into that tree spreader. And pick a tree, maybe to seed in our environment. I think this is the right way to get back to where I was. Now the buggy is great for getting around over land, but as the trees get in your way and as the caves don't allow them to get through the entrances, you've got to rely on the walking. And once I get breathable atmosphere, this will be a lot easier. I went the wrong way, didn't I? Oh, no, that's the right way. Okay. So we're back out to our rivers and waterfalls. And these red and green sort of tropical looking trees. Jet across. Oops. We're gonna go look into that tree spreader. Go below. On the way back, I'll grab some of the algae from here. Because I can trade bacteria samples. I don't know why they want bacteria samples. Maybe to make medicines? Oh, my inventory's full. Can do that. We gotta bring back our inventory first. But that's one of the things you can trade in the trade rocket is bacteria samples. Food, quality food, bacteria samples, fabrics, and you know, rocket engines and some of the minerals. So we're gonna start by putting away some of the stuff that we found. Which is iron. It's already full. Uranium rods. Explosive powders. Super alloys. I have spares. We're almost full of that one. And then you can use stuff to destroy the excess items. I just dump them in here and not destroy them. Hope I can use them later. The rocket engines are gonna go back to the other base, so I'll put them in the car. Great. What were we doing? Tree spreader. What do we need to build a tree spreader? Oh, we need bacteria samples. Okay. So we're gonna start by creating or gathering the stuff to make bacteria samples then. So I imagine my scientist guy would be running out here daily to go check the water samples. Because his responsibility would be to grab the algae here that he can bring back to the lab to make bacteria, as well as the water from here to use to manufacture those samples. We don't want him using the basis supply of drinking water from the rain gatherer. He's using the lake water for study. It's part of my story. I'm telling myself a story to make the game a little bit more interesting. And that's how you do. You have to have imagination with these types of games. Imagination on what to build and where to build it, you know. Like I'm this lone survivor creating this sort of science settlement. It makes you wonder, am I pretending there are really people there, or am I Wilsoning it? And these are fake people with little labels because I was lonely. This lonely terraformer, you know, creating these jobs and pretending to be these people. Just to get through, you know, being by myself alone on a planet. It works either way, doesn't it? Anyway. Check the, as I'm going to the manufacturing lab, I'll also grab the fabrics. Okay, we only have room for 3 of those, but that's enough for now. And we're gonna go make stuff. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna make up our fabrics and our bacteria samples. Okay, so we've got some stuff for trade here. I can also make the food here, but I can do it in the kitchen as well. Great. So we manufactured a bunch of stuff. And what did I need for... We need a bacteria sample, a super alloy. Super alloy. Oops. T2 fertilizer, zeolite. We have zeolite. I have some fertilizer. And then I just need the tree bark. Okay. And then I need a tree seed. So it's like, what tree do I want to seed out in the environment here? So we go to my botany lab over here. We have a few options. I don't think I've put Elegea out yet. I think I've had it down here, right? Humalora. What do we got? We have Soleus, Amora, Humalora, Elegea, Cernea, Alatanus, and Liquoil. So, from this box, I can see I haven't put the Amora out yet, and I haven't put the Humalora out. So, this guy gives me the better oxygen multiplier, so I should probably do him. So we're gonna put out a more trees. So now we just have to find a good place to seed trees. Maybe the ring around the wreck in the center over there. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna take some water and drink some water. I mean, I got tons of trees on this side. We don't need them here. Okay, we'll just dump all our... I need to keep one of these. Oh, and I have to get tree bark before I go. I forgot the tree bark. No, we need that for crafting. Okay, so let's grab the tree bark. So one of the... you get the tree bark from the tree dome. And I can gather it directly from the tree dome or some of the stuff that I've stored in boxes around the biolab, but I'll just grab it from the tree dome. Okay. That should grant me the ability to make this thing now, yeah. So actually, before I go, we'll see what, we'll look at the stats and then we'll come back and look to see how they've changed. So, my summary here tells me that our current oxygen production is really big number here. Our heat production is this. Our pressure is this, and our biomass plants and animals is that. So we'll see how that changes over time. So it's like 48, 49, 26. Heat's low because I've already maxed it out, so I've removed all the little heat devices I didn't need. Oxygen's huge, it's like 23, 230. Because we're working on breathable atmosphere right now, so we're pumping out the excess oxygens. So we're gonna go over this way. Go towards the desert ring over there, and we'll put the trees over there. I could put it in here too, but I'm kind of hesitant to make it harder to drive in to my other base. I want to be able to drive across the two bases. It would be nice to have a way to cut down the trees you don't want to be there, to carve your own paths. Maybe, you know, build some wood furniture in the future as an expansion DLC or something, I don't know. It's like as we start getting too many trees, cutting some of them might make sense, right? Everything in balance. Alright, I'm gonna put this guy here. So we have tree spreader. This won't go on the land. It's a land one. Okay, I'm gonna put it back here. Towards the very back where there is nothing in this desert region. The other one used to go over water. This one goes over land. So I'm gonna put it in the little island back here. This little area. Yeah, I'm gonna put it out here. See if we can terraform this area out of desert. Okay, and then we're gonna put this type of tree. And we'll watch it do its thing. Common bugs. Common bugs. I only pick up the rare bugs. I don't have to pick up the common bugs anymore. I do not need them. They just help you build wasps, I think. And I have plenty of farming right now. Alright, so we got trees growing at the back of the ring area. We'll see what that does. We've got some trees growing around the ring. It would be nice to see more trees in the back here. For the backdrop. And we'll go see how that changed our oxygen settings. These are my favorite trees. It's sort of like touch of purple and these sort of cyan color trees. I have the pretty little purple flowers. Yeah, I'm totally gonna use this as my fishing seeds with the 3 separate pools. Okay, so we're going back down towards the base. I want fishies and frogs. And little bunnies. Space bunnies. I want space bunnies. I don't think this game has space bunnies, but we know they absolutely have fish and frogs. I'm not sure what their animal looks like, but I guess I'll find out eventually. Okay, we are back to base. I don't like how you fly up. Sometimes I get stuck in the roof of this thing. I mean, just put me directly in front of the car, not above the car. Or directly behind the car would actually be more useful for in terms of, you know, I've cleared the space by driving through it. The back of the car theoretically is where I want to be to unload stuff, so putting me at the back of the car works too. But I guess they had problems popping into walls and things when they were teleporting them in front. I'm not sure, because if you crashed into a wall, I guess. Okay, so let's go see how that changed our settings here. Oxygen looks like it went up to 314, and biomass looks like it went up to 52,000, so that's actually not bad. And we are currently at 26% towards breathable atmosphere. Okay. So, let's go look at our offices to see what's coming next. We just got tree spreader. We've got to get to 87. That'll take a while. We're only at 6. This one's 25. Teleporter. That's cool. That means I won't have to take the car down anymore, so I won't have to worry about the trees. And pressure is 13. That'll be a while. But some other things coming is a even better tree spreader. Osmium rods. Fusion energy cells. That's what I need, I think, to open the doors in the little crash ships. Activates logistics and enables drones. Oh, you get drones eventually. Exoskeleton has better equipment. T1 aquarium. Oh, okay, so then we'll eventually have animals at 120 GTI. Circuits. You can salvage circuits, but I guess you can eventually trade and craft them as well. They give you a lot more points than other stuff, so that seems good. Same with the pulsar crystals. I could be mining pulsar crystals. That might make me more money at this. 25 Terra tokens. That might be interesting. I should probably put a thing up in the rainbow caves. So there's a cave down here, which you can sort of see I've marked in purple there, that has crystals. I should probably be doing that if crystals have trade value. Because it seems to imply I can get 25 tokens for that. Portals. I guess that's when you start jumping in and out of places. Another backpack. There's the amphibian farm. There's fish. There's frogs. This is the animals, which you can spawn creatures. So you can see this is like a 1.25 TTI. I'm only at GTI, which is down on this level. So you've got a ways to go. And there were a lot of questions online like, am I supposed to stop heating the planet can I overheat the planet? So I've removed the heat devices. They say if you leave them on, the planet keeps the terraforming level keeps going up. But I'm like, do I want to live on an overly hot planet or what? For me, it didn't make sense. So I took the heat devices away, which is why my heat is not upticking as high. It's fairly low because I don't have any devices past this point where I needed more heat. I'm working on the pressure, which is almost done, the oxygen, which is almost done. See, I have one more device in both of those. And then basically just plants. I need plants. So yeah, that is the game basically. You just run around, you terraform, you gather things, you put up devices to change the terraforming levels to make it go faster and get to more stages. And as you get more stages, you unlock more stuff. But it's a time investment, this game, so it's fun. I enjoy it. I think in terms of the survival, you won't see monsters or creatures or things to fight. You're fighting your own atmosphere, your own needs. You have to be able to run to the next base so you don't die of lack of oxygen. You have to have the right resources to be able to build the bases, to create the food and water as you go through the stages, because you'll lose access to, you won't find water in the, like once you've looted everything, you won't find it in the environment anymore. You have to become reliant on the rain or the lakes. Same thing with the food package. There's a limited time before you run out of, you have to manage exploring versus creating your own food, or you'll run out and you'll die. And like I said, you gotta gather the minerals and be able to manage your oxygen between walking into your bases that you're building, or you won't be able to gather the things you need. So it's a little bit of strategy. It's not horribly difficult. It's just time consuming. And I enjoy moving through all the little stages. I want to get to my little froggies and my fish. So I'm interested to see what comes next. But like I said, I'm not going to force you to watch me run back and forth trading things for the next hour. I just wanted to show you guys what I was doing in crafting the bases, what's kind of the environments look like, how some of the basic mechanics work. And yeah. Anyway, if you want to take a look at it, it's available in the Steam store. If not, I mean, there's plenty of people online recording their playthroughs. You can see some of their creativity in the bases that they've built. Yeah, so I guess that's it for today. Until next time.